Hello, my name is Emma and I work for the Cheshire and Wirral Partnership NHS Foundation Trust Involvement Recovery and Wellness Centre. This video will give you lots of practical ideas that you might want to try that can really help in coping with loss, grief and bereavement. And it's based on what has worked for myself, my mother Anne and my daughter Eve, who is 18 years old, cope with the sudden loss of my dad at the peak of COVID 3 months ago, and also to help us get through, all of us suffering from having COVID ourselves and not being able to go to his funeral. So beginning with my mother Anne, who has been with my dad for 60 years, what would you say, Mum, are the key things that have most helped you getting through the loss of Dad?
First thing that I found I had to do was get up in the morning, which sounds very simple, but it isn't. So that's the first thing I did. I've had a bad dream, I just try and get rid of that, have a nice shower, that's good, that helps. And then you've got yourself dressed in nice clothes, nice relaxing clothes. I go downstairs and I have a nice breakfast, a nice cup of tea, I sit outside if I can if the weather's nice. And then maybe ring somebody up, or just if I feel like it.
So getting out of bed's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I talk to myself and make myself do these things.
Right. So what sort of things do you say to yourself?
I'll get going and get cracking and try and get yourself into another frame of mind.
Right. Well, that's great, Mum. I know the other thing that you do that you're really good at is you keep really busy, and you try and do things every day since Dad died, even though you've not, some days you've not really felt like it at all.
No.
So how do you keep yourself busy and occupied?
Well, I like gardening, so I try and do some gardening. And I also have a studio down the garden that I can do some painting, some art in. And I've got a radio in my studio, and I can put the radio on, Radio 4 I like, listen to a play or something to stop my thinking about your dad and everything. And I can get really into the art. And writing as well. I think I have written from the beginning a diary about how I felt at the beginning of all this, which isn't that long ago. And it helps me to see how I've changed in that time.
And so you've looked back at the diary, and what have you noticed?
Well, I changed into a different person, which I've noticed, and I'm helping myself to manage this different person in different ways. I've even thought of volunteering to do something to help others, to get myself out of my frame of mind. I've talked to my friends on the phone. They've got problems as well. It's not all about me, so it's good that I can help other people on the phone or something.
Oh, that sounds really good. So have you done? I know we've seen it, Eve, haven't we? We've seen Mum trying to do Zumba and dancing and exercise and things like that. Has that helped?
Yes, it helps. It helps because I belong to the U3A and things like that, which have all closed, and the Rambling Group, and can't do any of these, so I put the YouTube on with the Zumba and try and get a bit of exercise that way, and that makes you feel better.
And we've all been out for walks, haven't we, when we felt really rubbish.
Yeah.
I think we've said, right, come on, we'll go out and go and
That's
look at
right.
baby ducks and things like that.
Yeah.
And recently, I saw that you'd started a course. You've been reading this book on grief and.
Yeah, it's called Writing Through Grief, and it was a book that I read. It's by Megan Devine, and it's okay, you're not okay. And she's really good because you can dip in and out of it. And she has a grief support group as well in it, which is brilliant. And all the people in it, you can talk to them through Facebook and things.
So you've just started that recently, so
Yes.
that's really helped, hasn't it?
It's very good, yes.
Oh, that's good. And I notice you've really been actively arranging to see all your family and your friends. You've really, and you said you couldn't bear to talk to them at first, so you just used
No.
to speak to them on the phone.
Yeah, no, I couldn't, not at first, but speaking to them on the phone, I'm gradually able to see people, certain people, and it's been a lot better, even though it's difficult with the COVID and everything.
Yeah, well, that's great. You also said about you've been doing a bit of Zoom meeting, talking to the church sometimes as well.
Yes, I go to the church once a month, which isn't very good, but we have the living streams once a month. We've had the Zoom talk, everybody talks on Zoom, which is really lovely to see them and talk to them again.
So you said that helped you deal with the loss
Yeah.
of dad and everything, keep you going as well.
Yes, yes, it did a lot,
Yeah. So, and the last thing I think you told me was one of the top things was looking after yourself, having that routine and giving yourself little treats. So what's that about, Mum?
Well, I used to enjoy going out for a cup of tea and a scone, and so I thought that would be nice just to have a cup of tea and a scone, either drag somebody along, one of my friends, or just buy a scone and make a cup of tea and sit by myself, or invite somebody round to have it with me, even if we're outside, you know, and it's nice, lovely, it just helps. You have to look after yourself, so I'm trying.
So you said to me, I thought that was really nice, that you said your body's like an organism and that you have to nurture it and look after it. And
yeah, because I made an appointment with the hairdressers when we could, but that helped, just doing that, thinking that you are looking after yourself. And I bought some anti-aging cream, which was, you managed to laugh about, but I did. And you just have to try, and well, I try, and I'm trying very hard, and that's the main thing. I do get down, which everybody does, but then you just have to drag yourself up again and get going.
so I thought it was nice what you said to me, that you made a nice bed, a lovely duvet, got some cuddly toys.
Yeah, I got Clifford that I have. He's a big fluffy toy. He's very nice because I just sort of hang on to him and hold his hand, which is quite sad, I think, sometimes, but it's nice for me, and I like my bedroom, and I've got some lovely smelling things in the bedroom to make the bedroom smell all night, and it's really good. It helps.
Oh, that's great. And you did say that you do work on, which I was really impressed with, that you did work on your mind. That you try and push thoughts away, and try and distract yourself, try and stay in the present. And you talked about your mind being like this fridge thing. What's that about?
I think I can put things in my mind and leave them there till I know later on I can be able to cope with them, but I can't. For now, I just can't. So I just put them in this little fridge and leave them till they actually thaw out a bit, or when I'm ready for them to thaw out. So, fingers crossed, that's what will happen.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, that sounds fantastic. So moving on to you, Eve, my daughter. So you're 18, obviously, so it's perhaps a completely different experience from your point of view. And you've also lost your gran as well, haven't you, just before Dad. So what's helped you, the key things to get through loss?
Giving myself goals, so like I write or like piano, so I'll print off a sheet of music and go, right, I want to learn this week, and have that to do by the end of the week. And music's very therapeutic. Entering writing competitions, essays, short stories, poems, novels, submitting to magazines, giving myself something to do or something to aim for every day. Cleaning certain things, so I say like Fridays I do the bathrooms, or one day eventually with some nagging I do the recycling. So just things like that.
Well, that's good. So that's helped you cope. And have you worked with your mind at all in the darker moments or anything, or done anything?
It's different for me because I sort of use the power of distraction, which I feel like people underestimate that and say, well, you shouldn't distract yourself because you'll avoid dealing with it, which is partly true because it'll come up and surprise me every now and then, and I'll go, oh, I don't want to think about that, and then I'll go, quick, distract myself with this, that, and the other. So I've been marathoning TV shows, I've been marathoning books. So like this week I've been reading, a book series, like a fantasy one especially, that's quite escapist, from book 1 all the way to like book 8. So and obviously piano and writing and reading, everything that I can get my hands on.
So if I could ask you, if you would, one thing that you think just has really helped you, just like has kept you going, something that you've thought to yourself, or the way that you talk to yourself, what is that sort of phrase or anything that's just kept you going?
I don't know. I just think of the word tomorrow.
Right.
So if I'm feeling bad today, I'll just think, oh, tomorrow, the next thing, the next this, the next that, and I kind of let myself think about Grandad and what's happened, and when it comes kind of up to bite me and go, hello, this happened, I try and, instead of panicking and going, this is real, I acknowledge that, going, okay, that's happened, let's just keep going tomorrow. So
Brilliant. And what would you say?
I think a day at a time with me, I feel better just going a day at a time, because I can't go into the future really. So I just keep making the best of the day every day.
That's amazing. So for me, I'm 50 years old, and what's helped for me has been, I think, quite different to you two, or similar as well. So I've used running, exercise, wild swimming. So I go swimming a lot in the lake, and that's been really take my mind off what we're going through. Cycling, going out with friends that way, and then I'm just trying to plan a future and have something to look forward to. I think that's, and not to waste my life. I think one gift that I think Dad has left me is he's left the legacy of how to have a good life, and then what to work towards, to leave for others really. So that's made me focus more on my life, to get more out of my life, and also on hopefully relationships with family and how important that is. So I hope what we've shared with you helps you dealing with any sort of loss that you've got. Everybody's different, not the same thing works for everybody. As you can see, we're all doing completely different things to help us get through. But one last thing is, it's just working with their mind and their body, isn't it, really? I think it's just being quite proactive, isn't it? And
that's right.
So I do a lot of meditation, a lot of mindfulness, and I do a lot of work with my own mind, just being wary of what it's thinking about and watching it, and changing. And it sounds like you do that as well in different ways.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that and you've got something out of that, and something from us sharing our stories about how we're managing. But take good care of yourself, and all the very best.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.